Hi, everyone, and welcome back to IB Bites, a series of bite-sized topics I created for my students to help boost their English scores. Today's focus is part 2 of a practical and actually doable guide to the IO. In this part, I'm going to show you how to choose the second text for both Lit and LangLit IOs. In part 1, I walked you through how to choose the first text by asking these 5 simple questions, each designed to make it easier for you to find a global issue, starting with just one text. Now, I know there are 2 texts, and this is the purpose of today's video, is to clarify that. All right, let's quickly review the first question, the questions, based on part 1 of the video. So the first question helps you find an extract, and not just any extract, but one that holds meaning for you. The second question helps you define the extract's global theme. These are also called fields of inquiry. The third question helps you narrow that field down to a specific global issue. And the fourth question prompts you to recognize that the global issue has an impact. And the final question completes the global issue statement with the outcome. So in the end, you have a clearer idea of your global issue and you have an extract. And you're ready to select your second text. For LangLit students, if your first text is a work of literature, as in the graphic novel Persepolis, then your second text must be chosen from the various non-literary texts, also called BOWs or bodies of work or body of works, you studied in class, such as ads, cartoons, photographs, articles, social media posts, and more. To clarify, for LangLit students, you need one work of literature and one work of non-literature. For Lit students, both your texts must be works of literature, such as novels, plays, a collection of poems, or short stories. But be sure that at least one of your works is a work in translation, and that the other work is originally written in English. If this video is helping you with IB English, maybe give it a like and share it with someone who may also be struggling. It really does make a difference. Right now, your global issue is too text specific because we based it on Persepolis. So you'll want to broaden its scope so it's not limited to the specific events or characters in Persepolis alone. To do that, simply generalize the issue by removing text-specific references. For example, here, we could change the phrase state authority to just authority, so it includes more forms of authority than just governments. We could also reframe speaking truth to silencing voices. The idea is not to change your original focus, but rather to adjust the language to find a common ground. For example, both this extract from Persepolis and this Dove #ShowUs ad illustrate the silencing of voices. Whereas Persepolis, the extract, exposes political silencing imposed by an authoritarian regime, the Dove #ShowUs ad exposes media silencing through beauty standards that suppress women's authentic self-expression. Once you refine that part of your global issue statement, you'll naturally need to adjust the impact and outcome parts of the statement so that it aligns with both texts. Here, the global issue for these 2 texts reads, when political and media silencing suppress personal expression, it denies individuals the agency to shape their own identities. Remember, you're not changing your original focus. You're simply adjusting the wording to accommodate both texts. The idea is to stick to your original focus. Let's look at how some of the other BOWs pair with this Persepolis extract and the global issue of silencing voices. Why am I doing this? Because I wanted to show you that these texts are not they're not cherry picked. They weren't chosen because they had similar themes. I know teachers do that. They base the literature texts and the BOWs based on similar themes, so students have something to compare and contrast. But in fact, you don't need to do that because those pairings occur organically. That's why I chose that Dove #ShowUs ad. That doesn't seem to have anything to do with silencing voices. And yes, it does in terms of the media. These pairings in the global issue, they happen organically. While students are exploring the text, they see the connections. If anything, all of the bodies of work that you see on this slide, I intentionally made a point of randomly choosing them to show that formulating a global issue should happen organically because of the rich ideas in these IB texts. All right, let's take a look at other pairings. For example, in this pairing, the extract from Persepolis and a cartoon by Patrick Chapat, the shared global issue is that silencing voices through force or social pressure make it harder for people to speak freely or be truly heard, leaving them unheard, unseen, and without power. In this example, the extract from Persepolis and this photograph by Don McCullen both illustrate that when governments silence people's voices for political reasons, it impacts their ability to speak and be seen, leading to erasure in some cases, such as invisibility and voicelessness. All right, looking now at works of literature. This extract from Persepolis and this extract from John Cheever's short story, The Enormous Radio, reveal that silencing of personal expression by political power or social conformity impacts a person's ability to speak their truth, leading to erasure and emotional isolation. In this Persepolis extract and the World's Wife poem, Anne Hathaway, silencing of voices by political power and patriarchal history impacts a person's ability to shape their own narrative, leading to erasure of their truth and lived experience. Lastly, these extracts from Persepolis and A Clockwork Orange show how silencing voices through threats of punishment or the removal of moral choice undermines a person's freedom to act with integrity, leading either to rebellion or to artificial conformity. Regardless of the second text you select, make sure the global issue is sufficiently broad to accommodate each work's distinct treatment. This flexibility is essential because each text contributes to the global issue differently. For the pairings that we looked at today, voices are silenced not only politically, but also socially and culturally. Before we go, I'd like to touch on how to choose the wider work references. The idea is to choose at least 2 references from within each work, specific moments that inform the global issue in ways different from the extract. The example here is literature, but for LangLit, you would have one of your within the BOW, you would choose 2 more photographs or 2 more Dove ads. Each reference should address the same global issue, but focus on different characters, situations, or events to highlight the issue's diverse dimensions. In short, if you use these 5 questions to narrow down your global issue using just one text, you'll need to broaden that global issue, the language of it, to accommodate the second text. Remember, you're not changing your focus. You're tweaking the language for a better alignment of each text's contribution to the global issue. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and happy analyzing.